Hey guys, welcome back for another yin class. Today we're going to be looking at the lower half, and this is one, there's no big crazy postures. If you wanted to, really, you could do this sitting in front of the TV, studying, reading, whatever you need to do. We're just opening up through these parts of our body that we use a lot. And apologies if you hear dog sounds, Wags is out here with me. Those of you who are in our studio know that he loves all the attention. So if you see him, I apologize. We're going to start off in our comfortable seat, length through the spine. Gently right ear to right shoulder. Not here for too long, just inviting some length in. Breathing into that space to the left side of the neck. More breath. Back towards center, drop your left ear to your left shoulder. I always like to start with the neck, no matter what we're doing, what part of the body we're focusing on. Just because it's where so many people hold tension. And if we're already tense going into our practice, we're not starting at a point that's going to benefit our body. One more breath. Back towards center. Our first posture is we're coming into deer pose, so bring the right shin parallel with the front of the mat, the left thigh parallel with that shin. So here, ideally we want the hips relatively square, but it's okay if they're not. We're going to start to gently fold forward. Now you might find yourself moving off to one side, that's okay. Now where our hips are is going to dictate what direction we move in, how open we are already. Try and, if you can, just keep a gentle flexing of the foot. It doesn't have to be heaps of muscular engagement. Just a little bit. Working external rotation through the right leg, internal rotation through the left. Now if you want to focus more on the external rotation, that's where that fold comes in. If you want to work more on the internal rotation, try and keep your hips as square as you can. Maybe you sit up straight. Everyone's going to experience this posture a little bit differently. That is fine. Yeah, maybe you try out both. See which one's going to work best for you. Once you've found which one's going to serve you best, start to settle in, start to stay. Keep the breath moving, but unlike our vinyasa practice, we're not forcing it. The breath isn't dictating our movement, the breath is just there. The sensation becomes our point of focus, not that we're fixating on it, not that we're letting it take over our thoughts. We're just noticing, letting it be there, and working through it. A few more breaths. Slowly, if you're folded over, start to lift back up. We're going to switch over sides. That left shin now parallel with the front of the mat. The right thigh parallel with that shin. And the right shin is going straight back. Here, again, have a little exploration in the body. Which variation is going to best serve you? It may be different to the first side. If that's the case, perfect. Maybe you fold over. Maybe you sit up straight. Folding forward is going to be external rotation in the front leg. Leaning back is going to encourage more internal rotation through the back. Maybe you notice that one side of your body is quite different to the other. If that's the case, what a beautiful thing to be aware of. There's no judgment in it. But from this awareness, we can start to guide our practice in a way that's going to make our bodies a little more symmetrical. The important thing is to not worry about the result, just focus on the process. Let all the noises or the sounds distract you. Allow them to become part of your practice. The sounds of the birds aren't going anywhere. You can't change it. Just be with it. Take one more round of breath. And start to gently move back towards center. Bring your feet out wide. Now, just like the vinyasa or the yang variation of this posture, we still want to start sitting up on our sitting bones. We don't want to be rounding through the lower back. But unlike the yang variation, we're not trying to flex those toes up. Let the feet land wherever they need to, and start to gently fold forward. Now you're folding forward maybe as little as taking your chin towards your chest. You don't need to bring your forearms or your chest down to the earth. Just let your body land wherever it feels comfortable. That may be, for a lot of people, a very, very small movement, and that's totally fine. Wherever you are, be grateful for where you are. These last few breaths, see if you can release a little bit more. Maybe your chest moves a little closer to the earth, maybe it doesn't. Wherever you are, wherever it is, know that that's perfect. Take one more breath, a little more of a release. Then slowly start to move back up. Start to bring your feet to the outer edges of your mat. Let your knees fall in towards each other. We come into this constructive rest. You don't have to be sitting up straight. You can start to lean back. However far you lean is totally up to you. But maybe you play around with lengthening through the spine or letting it round. Notice if the sensation is different. Notice if it moves to a different part of the hip. Slowly start to send your legs out long. We're coming into caterpillar. So the legs are out straight. All we're doing here is taking the chin towards the chest and allowing the upper body to round over the leg. And just like that wide-legged forward fold, we still want to start at a point where our sitting bones are going down and back. So you can start sitting up straight, but then let go of that muscular engagement. Round over, be passive. The depth will change the longer you stay. So whatever depth you start at, amazing, that's your starting point. You can only start where you are. Just be aware, be grateful as that changes. Over the course of your time in this posture. If you can, try and let go a little bit more. Just a few more rounds of breath. Just watching the breath. And then watching your body as maybe you move a little bit deeper. Slowly start to lift the torso back up. Leave your right leg out long. start to bend through your left knee, so your left ankle is on the outer edge of your left hip. Now if you're somebody who's tight through your ankle, this may be enough for you. If this is too much, sit up on a block or a pillow. If you want to take it a little bit further, start to bring the hands back. Continue to lean back until you find your depth. Just make sure you're not going too far. Make sure you're not going to a point where you feel like your lower back is arching. And this can be a lot of sensation for some people. The quads are a part of the body that we don't stretch very often. It's also a part of the body that, even if you are somebody who exercises a lot, part of the body that gets really tight. So show yourself a little compassion here. Don't feel like you need to go really deep. Just allow the sensation to gently be there. At any point you feel like it's too much, always know that you can mindfully move. You can mindfully take yourself a little bit out of this pose. Really slowly and gently start to lift yourself back up. We switch over sides. That left leg goes out long. Take as much care as you need. Right ankle comes to the outer edge of the right hip. Again, if this is a lot for the front of your ankle, you can sit up a little higher and you can stay here. You can stay at this depth. You don't have to lean back. But if you're ready, start to take the hands behind you, start to shift towards the earth. Maybe you come onto your elbows. If you're really comfortable here, you can move all the way down to the ground, but again, don't compromise that safety of your lower back just to move deeper. If there's sensation for our yin practice, that's enough. That's what we're here for. Now, can you be with that sensation? Can you work through it? Let the sounds of the birds, the planes of the car, let it all be exactly what it is. It's just the world around you. You and your practice are all part of it. So when you're ready, start to shift your torso back up. Send both legs out long. Take a moment, as long as you need. Then when you're ready, start to lay down on your back. We land in Shavasana, our final resting pose. Close down your eyes. Any little movements you need to make them. But then once you've done that, let the stillness land. Let all of the fidgets go as you settle in. All that's left is you watching your belly move up and down. You don't need to have any control over the body. Not even control over the breath. You're just there with it, in this stillness. Stay as long as you need. When you are ready, take your time, move slowly and with care towards a comfortable seat. Keep your eyes closed. When you get there, bring your hands to your heart. Take a gentle bow of your head. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself, your practice, and that of everyone else. As always, I leave you with what Maharaji left Ram Dass: love everybody, tell the truth. Namaste. Thank you so much, guys. As always, if you have any questions, any feedback, please don't hesitate to reach out. We love hearing. See you next time.